Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Author Strong podcast, where we give writers the tools they need to succeed. Matt Morris here. And as always, I'm joined by Nancy Elliott. Nancy, how's it going?
It's going all right. I don't know what I did to the Google gods to make them hate me so much, but my
They,
lower third does not display anymore.
they don't like you.
They hate me.
They hate you. So it's really weird. So we're doing a live show, allegedly. I hope we're live.
Well, the little window says we are. So
it's true. This is the first live show that we've ever done without a guest. It's just us.
What?
Hanging out. Yeah. Like
Have we really never done it without a guest? Oh, Lord.
Because we had like Libby, we had Robert, and we had like...
It's going to go downhill, you guys, really fast.
We had Zach a few times, and we had Mimi, and we had Jim Heskett. I think that's everybody.
I think that is everyone.
But we don't have anybody now. And so... yeah. Oh, Robert. So, yeah. And so we are live. Robert was just commenting. He said, dude, ? Like, are you guys going to show up to your own party? And my response is, yes, we're fashionably late.
Done.
Yeah. I had to get my stuff in order. I was running a little late.
Hangouts was being annoying. Sorry.
Oh, no. It was totally me. I was underprepared. I was doing some
Oh, well, it was being annoying for me. So
yeah. Nancy's trying to make this better for me, but no, it's my fault. We're late. It's okay.
I tried.
Yeah. It's all right. It's fine. Okay,
I'm not going to take a bullet for you, so that's about the extent.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I throw myself in front of the bus. It's all me.
Okay. All right. So what are we doing, Matt? What are we doing here on this evening?
So we're going to do a couple things.
Okay.
We had a lot of stuff, towards the beginning of the month. We had just some stuff that was going to be happening at the end of the month. And I was like, okay, our live show would actually be a really good time to talk about all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I was sitting down earlier today and I was thinking about, just doing some prep for the show. What do I need to get together? And I realized that like a lot of the promises I wanted to follow through on with this live show, like most of them have not really come to pass. And so earlier I was like, okay, so the live show is going to be me like just not living up to expectations. And
it's so defeatist.
I know. So now I'm setting a new expectation of everybody's don't expect much.
There you go. That's the wisest thing.
Yeah.
Don't deliver and then lower the expectations.
Exactly. Or something.
That's what happens when you disappoint people. Naturally, over time, the expectations decrease. I know all about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, so we just basically wanted to come on and do a bunch of things and talk about a bunch of things. And so one of the things that we wanted to talk about, and one of the big things I was excited about whenever I first thought about doing the live show like this, was NaNoWriMo. And so I'm going to mention that kind of first, and then it'll trickle into something else. So when we had planned the month out towards back at the beginning of the month, I was kind of planning on doing something with Nano. I was planning on doing something new, because in the past I've done some stunts, and I was planning on trying to do like, what's going to be the new exciting stunt? And I had said in, I think, my goals episode, where I would have a survey up. And the idea basically was I'm going to do a novel in a month, right? Like start to finish, full package done by the end of the month, ready to be published. And I was going to have a survey up to essentially have like vote, like what should that be, right? Like what genre, or if I was going to, pick some series and let listeners pick from those series.
Mm-hmm.
As the month has progressed.
Yeah. Have you revisited that?
Yeah, frequently. And I've been just a little bit more and more kind of hesitant all around. And so basically, I've been hesitant on the big thing I've been hesitant on is I really, really want to do the book in a month, the complete start to finish, like have a finished product ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And whatnot. My biggest hesitation about that is just given the way I want to actually launch, because this would be stuff that would go under Matt Morris and go under my name. And given that, the way I want to launch a new brand and launch something new is I don't want to launch a one-off. Okay. And so I want to be able to launch like a series at one time. So that was one hesitation. And I talked to some friends about it, and they were kind of like, well, just don't publish the book, right? Write it, have it done, but don't publish it. Just don't put it out there yet. And then you can write some other stuff and you'll have it ready to go. And I like that idea. My other main hesitation was being that it's going to be a new series. It's not like an established series. So, and that adds a huge learning curve as
Right.
you're going to be learning that soon. Like once you have that first book done, which you've been working on, then
Yes.
a lot of the final decisions will be made. You won't be like you're going to have a better idea on, you know, the world and on your magic system. And until you get that book 1 done, like all of that stuff is in flux still.
That is a very true statement, as Toasty will know.
Yeah. So our friend Toasty, you've been talking with her about it.
Yes.
And so that was the other big consideration, is being that it's a first time book or a first time series that it still have to be developing. Just a lot of effort would go into actually getting that ready to go.
Yeah.
And that kind of trickled over to, because I've had so many things going on this month and I've been working like crazy. I was like, can I sustain that for another month? Right.
I don't know if that's healthy, to be honest.
And so like part of it would be good, part of it would be bad. But in any case, so I didn't, with all that in mind, I didn't put up the survey originally that I thought about doing.
Okay.
I didn't share that with I was going to put it in our little Author Strong group, Facebook group, which by the way, you can go check out the website. I can't even talk. I'm pointing at it on my screen, but that doesn't help anybody. You can go check out the website, authorstrong.com. There's a little button at the top. If you're not in the Facebook group already, the little button says join the Facebook group kind of thing, and then we'll get you in there. Also, if you're listening to this on the podcast, there's going to be a live video recording as well. So go over to authorstrong.com, episode 184, and it will be sitting there waiting for you. So I didn't post that, but now I did, because with all that said, I've still been kind of hesitant on what I'm actually going to do. Right. I haven't ruled out doing the book in a month. I ruled out pretty early on about letting someone else pick that for me. I kind of figured out pretty early on. I was like, if I'm going to do this, it needs to be something I'm going to be really interested in. The biggest thing for me, and the thing I've been so hesitant about with the 50K days was, they were just stunts, and there were a lot of writing that I wasn't going to use. Like I needed it to be something that I could better leverage my time with. And so I held off on putting out putting that out, because I basically said, if I'm gonna do the book in the month, I'll decide what that will be, and everyone will just have to be fine with that. It won't be quite as big of because I thought it'd be like a cool stunt to, you know, decide right now on this show, on this live show, like, oh, I'm going to be working on whatever this series, and then have like 2 days of prep for it and then launch into it.
Right.
Cool.
Okay.
And I still think it would be cool, but it's just it'd be like too cool for school or something. I don't
know. Well, maybe you can do it for next year's Nano, but not this one.
Right. And yeah, I thought about
there's a lot going on.
Exactly. So,
okay,
with all that said,
decision time. Jazzy?
I did put together a form and like a little survey, and I'm going to share it in the comments right now, and so people will be able to vote, and we can check it all out later. And so this is going to have a few options on here for things that I'm debating, right? And I have a feeling there's really going to be only 1 or 2 that people are going to choose, but that's fine. Okay, it's posting, I swear. At least it says it is.
Okay.
And so everyone should be able to click over to that. I said it. This is why we were late. I was trying to set this up real quick.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work, sorry. So everyone should be able to go click over there, and you'll get a survey. And on that survey, you'll have a few options. And what they are is, it's basically like, what should Matt do for Nano? And I have a feeling that most people are going to pick one of the first 2. And that's fine. And so basically, I'm just I'm trying to get a feel. I don't know that the survey will dictate what I will do, but it'll give me. I like having the motivation of what people are interested in seeing. That was the motivation that kept me going through with doing the 50K days in the first place. Was when I was streaming them, and I had a bunch of people watching, and it was a lot of fun. Exhausting and, you know, life-threatening, but fun.
Right.
And so, okay, so the options that I chose, and also what I want to say is, I do intend on streaming the majority of the stuff that I'm writing for Nano. So I'm going to be on Twitch. I'll have links. I'll be on twitch.tv/Matt Morris Author, and people will be able to watch live as I do all of this stuff, as I'm writing whatever and working on whatever. I'll try and it forces me to be at home a little bit more, but I'll try and have a consistent kind of schedule going on.
Okay.
So the options are the first one is a 50K day. Now, I've said in the past that I would never do one of these again.
Yes, you did.
But I'm not good at sticking to my word. So I don't know that I would want to do it, but I don't think I'm completely ruling it out either. Okay. So essentially at this point last year, I was this exact same mood. I was like, I don't know if I want to do it. And then like 48 hours later, I was done. And so I'm not completely opposed to it. I'm not completely for it. Novel in a month. I'm still really hesitant on this. And I think that if I take this novel in a month approach, I don't think that it will be a finalized novel. I think it will be a pretty clean novel with some stuff left to clean up.
Okay. I think that's realistic.
Yeah, I think it'll be so it would be like essentially like my target would be a 50,000 word novel. At least I don't know what the final word count would be, but at some point I want to hit 50,000 words. Whether or not I go over or possibly edit under will be decided later, but I would like it to be a minimum of 50,000 words actually written just to accomplish Nano successfully. And so I don't, it novel in a month is not quite the original intent that I had for novel in a month, but it's something similar. So, and that would be getting to share my process of planning the novel and working through the novel and editing, and everyone would get to see a lot of that stuff because I'd be streaming a lot of it.
Sure, from like start to finish.
Correct.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the third option is be a sane person, which is regular Nano, and the fourth option is be a healthy person, and that is no Nano. And
I told you to walk away when we were talking about this previously.
Right. Yeah. Just put it down. And so when I say no Nano, it wouldn't be like I'll still be doing Nano. I'll be writing stuff, but it won't be. It'll be. I'll be focused on some other stuff because we've got a lot of other stuff going on that is in addition to all of this.
Right.
And so it would be me just kind of taking a more relaxed approach to the writing angle of it. And
do I get a vote? Does my vote count?
I can't tell who's voting.
I say regular Nano.
You say okay.
Also, so I don't think anyone else can look at the form. You may need to add permissions.
Oh, this is so annoying.
I'm just telling you.
I wasn't looking at the comments, so
yeah.
If that's what they're saying,
that is what they are saying.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think you should do regular Nano. You have a lot of crap already on your plate. I mean, but I know that you really like the stunts. You like doing those.
I do.
That just gives me like the whisperings of an anxiety attack. So I'm not doing that. Just regular Nano for Nancy.
Oh, you have to. Sorry, I forgot. There's an option here where you have to like make it so that people don't have to be logged in.
Yes.
I don't know where to do that. Okay, I'll be looking into it. I apologize. Okay, so you think that, and then yeah. So if you can't get on and mess with the form, then hold on.
The permission should be in the corner, right?
You would think that it should work now. It should work now.
Okie doke.
I'm gonna reshare it just in case, but it should work.
It works.
There you go. Okay,
I voted.
I'll reshare it. I know. Okay. Toasty's giving me crap. It's epic fail already. Oh, yeah, I'm playing. It's not the share button. It's you actually have to untick this option where people have to be logged into the AuthorStrong website to actually do it.
Oh, lame.
I know. Oh, Becca says no Nano gasp. Yeah, I mean, I want to do something, and so and for Nano for the last multiple years for Nano, I've always worked on stuff that's going to go under my name, under Matt Morris. I've never worked on stuff that's going to go under pen names, other names. I should say other pen names. And so yeah, so I'd like some people's feedback and vote, and then we'll come back towards the end of the show. I'll look at it and we'll readdress it. But that just to get it out there, that's throw it out there, and then we'll circle back on it. The other thing that ties into is kind of what we're doing for Nano. Now, something else has been happening during Nano, and I've had a couple people asking me about it, and that is our 200th episode is coming up. And so the 200th episode comes out on November 15th. So it's like 2 weeks from this Sunday, right?
Wow.
Yeah. And so
I hadn't thought about it quite that way. Okay, that's close.
It's very close. And and so, we had wanted to do some really cool stuff, and we talked about doing some really cool stuff on the show, And unfortunately, that really cool stuff is going to have to wait.
Yep.
And so what we had talked about, and so we basically just came into like logistics clashing. Like the places we want to do a live show, an actual live show, in person here in Houston with an audience, with people and stuff and more stuff. And I thought November would be really cool just because you can get some of the nano crowd involved and etc. And in the actual planning and logistics of it, whenever I started looking at places, like most of the places I really wanted to happen at are not available.
Yeah.
And so I am working already with a particular location, and I don't want to say it yet until everything's confirmed and everything. So I'm sitting down with them. I've talked with their event coordinator this week, and then I'm sitting down with her in a week. I think she's out of town for a certain period of time. It might be a week or a couple days. So I'm sitting down with her next week or maybe the week after that, and with the owner of the place to get it done. And it's a really, really cool venue. Awesome, like courtyard patio, big area. Like they got a big TV screen. Like the PA system's already put in. They have food and a bar, and like it'd be perfect. And so what we're going to do, instead of for the 200th episode,
drum roll.
Yeah, drum roll. It's not going to be the 250th. It's going to be I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be the 1 year. So I guess it'll be like technically it's going to be like the 367th. Oh wait, there's a leap day. No, it'll be like the 368th.
So nerdy. Yeah.
And because it is a leap year.
1 year.
So,
1 year.
Yeah, so it'll be the 1 year. And so what we're planning on doing is targeting it for the 1 year. Technically would be May 1st. That's on a Sunday. So the Saturday before that, April 30th.
Woo-hoo.
And that's what we're targeting, and actually doing a live show. And that will give us time. I mean, that'll essentially give us 6 months. Because, by the way, Nancy, we're about to hit our 6-month mark in a couple days.
Yay!
End of the show, which is a little bit scary. I know. And so and so I think it'll be a little bit easier with scheduling, because a lot of people are doing like holiday scheduling and
I agree.
And then nano and all that stuff. And so instead of doing something big every 100 episodes, I like that we did something big. We did listener appreciation show for the 100th. I like that. And then I don't think we need to do something like that for every 200, but I do want to do a live show for the 200th. And so we'll try and track some people down to join us for that, and probably still do that on a Saturday. So 2 weeks from this Saturday.
Okay.
Maybe do like an Saturday afternoon show. People can hang out and whatever with us. And then so we will just do that instead. And then we'll probably have I think we'll do some giveaways too.
Oh, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, I want to do some giveaways. So, okay.
Said
a lot of stuff.
You did.
And so that gets us caught up on kind of what's going on with the 200th episode, which is we're just gonna do a live show.
Right.
If anyone is still coming down to town, we had some people talking about coming from out of state. If that's still gonna happen, I will still be out writing. Like, there's some other nano events that are happening that weekend. And like, if you're coming to town, cool, let's hang out.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. It was just it was too last minute for the getting the venue and everything situated the way we wanted to actually promote a big show. And then it's also only 2 weeks away. And so I think once I get it locked down for April, we'll be able to say like, oh, now everyone's got 5 months to plan to be here. And so it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, it'll be good. Okay, Nancy, what are you doing for NaNoWriMo?
What am I doing for Nano?
I need more drinks on my wine, so I'll let you talk.
Take a sip. I'm just going to continue. I think eventually at some point I will be done with my first book, and then I will just immediately move into the second one. So I don't really have like a hard plan, because I kind of have already done a lot of that the last 2 months for whatever book 2 looks like. So it'll just be like a transition. Pretty much send it to the editor, and then the next day I'll start on book 2. Like, nothing really as exciting as yours. I don't have a poll for everybody. Them's apples. That's what's happening.
How dare you?
I don't need your opinion on it this time.
Yeah, I think that's wise. Nano's fun just because there's a lot of community involvement, and
yeah.
I think
I'm gonna need that. I think I'm gonna I'll really want to make use of the community. I'm still definitely going to do the 50,000 words because I'm sure the book will be longer than that. So, and because I really want to, I love the party that we have at the end where like everyone, it's like close to the deadline and everyone's like, when they hit 50K, we all do a round of shots. So fun, so exciting. Yeah, I definitely want to take part in all that.
I'm not gonna lie. With NaNoWriMo coming up, I mean, for the last 2 years since I've been involved in the community, I've always been the guy that's done on like the first day, right? And so like, I literally have not gone to a
It's a
NaNoWriMo.
humble brag if there ever was one.
It's just stating the fact.
I know, but okay.
And so I literally have not gone to a NaNoWriMo write-in because I didn't do any 3 years ago. I didn't go to any. I wasn't involved in any of the stuff. So I've literally not gone to a NaNoWriMo write-in where I have not hit 50,000 words before it. And so
okay, well, then you should join the
mental
rest
thing.
of us plebes and do that.
So it's a mental thing. Like for me, I'm just like, that's going to be weird. Like I'm going to feel like a slacker. I shouldn't, but whatever.
Right. Okay.
It's going to be a weird feeling for me. I like that for you though. I like just focus on the editing and then get the writing done and it'll be good. It'll be good to go. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I want Nano to be a good like I don't know. It's going to help me. It's going to help keep me on track and excited, which is something that I've really struggled with this first book. Like I like it, but I also deeply loathe it and myself often. So other people's faux excitement will be exciting for me as well.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's fun, and that's why I like streaming it online too. It's just getting the community involved, and people are a little bit more interested in that kind of stuff whenever they are during November. So. Last November we did this a couple times where we did it on Google Hangouts, and probably won't do that again. But we did it on Google Hangouts where we had like we had write-ins, we had like virtual write-ins.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean we might be able to do that with like with the Author Strong crowd if we get like
I think we could do that if people are interested.
And the whole idea is like you get all together like Nancy and I are doing right now, and then you turn off your microphones, right?
Yeah.
And it's pretty much silent. I've done this actually with Robert since then as well. And a couple other people. Michelle Reed has done it with us, and basically you sit there and you write, but it's the idea of like you're writing with people and you're not kind of alone writing, but no one's really paying attention to you. They're just working on their own stuff,
right?
And
it's the best sort of anonymity. It's like alone in a crowd. My favorite kind.
Yeah, exactly. And so we might be able to schedule some of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting. So you're going to focus on that. I'm going to something to be decided, and we'll talk about it a little bit more later.
Okay.
The other big thing that we have going on that we wanted to talk about during this show was the launch of the Author Strong Tutorials course website.
That's right.
Finally. Tutorials.com. Right.
At long last.
At long last. So I was going to do it here at the end of this month, right? That was my original target at the beginning of the month.
Right.
And so to launch it at the end. Now, a couple things came up during that pushed it off. One, I got a lot of work done, so I did like the Create Space module. And I don't know if Robert's still here, but if he's still here, Robert, thank you. Robert actually donated a book to that module, essentially. And so I took one of his novellas and I showed how I took it essentially from a Word file, like just the normal Word file that you would publish, and walk it through Scrivener. So importing it into Scrivener, showing how to do that, and then showing how to set it up for Create Space. And then essentially giving them a finalized product that was ready for Create Space. And so I added that module. That was what I was doing at the beginning of this month. And I've got a bunch of other modules on there. I actually have a decent number of videos completed, like tutorial stuff, that I've not uploaded to the website yet.
Yeah.
But as I was doing it at the beginning of the month, I just had a couple realizations. So for example, right now, Mark Dawson relaunched his course website, right? Facebook ads for authors.
Yep.
Brian Cohen came out with his, I don't remember the name of it offhand. Brian Cohen came out with his at the same time right now. And I was like,
There's so much choice.
Yeah. And we're all kind of targeting the same people. And so I was like, I don't really want to launch into that, even though it's completely different.
Yeah.
There's no overlap between anything we're talking about.
It still makes sense to hold back a little bit.
Well, yeah, and then also I got into, I've been writing most of the month, working on another novella series and
Mhm.
writing the whole thing, and so that honestly that's taken up the majority of my time, which is where the majority of my time should be spent, other than working on the podcast. So okay, so that said, it's not the course site is not 100% yet, but it is close,
Okay.
and so what I'm just gonna say it now, right? I was mapping it out earlier, and I'm gonna say it. I gotta find it. I put it on a piece of paper. Where is it? Here it is. Okay.
I misplaced it.
So what I'm gonna do for the podcast listeners, because everyone who's right now listening to the podcast, um, a couple things that Nancy and I have talked about is we're gonna do. If you're familiar with all these other courses that are kind of coming out, like the Facebook ads and Nick Stevenson's and Brian Cohen's, what they follow a model essentially where they are available for sale. They do like a 10-day launch and then they close, right? Then they're not available for sale. You can't buy them. And so right now we're kind of doing our own ads for Mark, because Mark has actually given us an affiliate account with him. And so people, if they want to support our show, they can order, and they order Facebook ads for authors. It's, I think, selfpublishingformula.com slash AuthorStrong. And so whenever if you buy that course through that link, we get some money kickback, which is cool because we haven't made any money on the show. And people always ask me that, like, how do you make money on that? And I was like, I don't.
Like, we don't. Yeah.
$0.
Aw.
So it's really nice of him. And in case they follow a model where they close it out, though. So, like, for example, Mark's relaunching his course right now, but that closes on November 3rd.
Right.
And so after November 3rd, no one will be able to buy that. And then Brian, I believe, is doing the same thing where it's open for a certain period of time, and then it'll close, and then probably later in the future he may reopen it, but who knows?
Right.
And we're going to be doing something different. So for ours, because
so
we're
not that model.
not quite that model, no. We're going to be leaving it open for sale permanently. Once it goes live, it'll be live, and I'll be doing updates still, so that'll be good. But the price will go up. So what we're going to do is we're going to have like an introductory offer kind of thing where it'll be really discounted. And that discounted period will be for a smaller period of time, like a week. That will kind of match what these other guys are doing. And then the idea there is to just get everyone, especially all the listeners that support us, they'll be able to get in kind of on the ground floor at a pretty cheap price. And then it will go up from there, and it'll settle on whatever the price it settles on. We still haven't. I can't share it now because we haven't settled on what
we haven't ironed it out.
Yeah, haven't ironed out what those actual prices are going to be. But the way I worked it so far is that, like, the introductory price will be less than half the full price, and a pretty large discount on it. And that's
that's like, it's like a discount for the early adopters, with anything like that, or like Kickstarter, where you can get stuff for like half the price of the retail value if you kickstart it now. Kind of the same thing.
Exactly. So the idea is that it'll be available for sale for permanently. So if you don't want to buy it initially, that's great. The price will go up. And what I'm envisioning, though, it'll go up. So when's it going to launch? My official launch date, I'm going to say, is December 1st. Okay. But the initial period is going to be before that. So the December 1st will be kind of like the price launch for not the introductory rate.
Right. So like the week before or something?
Yeah, I targeted November, I think 23rd. So little over a week before, something like that.
So right around when you're eating your turkey.
Yeah, it's like the Monday before, something like that. The Monday before Thanksgiving. And then it'll run through December 1st. And so right around the holidays. And so that'll be the introductory, like the low pricing, get it in. And then if you don't want to buy it then, you want to pick it up later, it will be available later. And so I think I'll do maybe like a 2-week period or something like that. The first 2 weeks of December, where it'll be like the second tier of pricing, where it won't quite be the final price yet. And then after that, it'll be the final price, and it'll lock in at that.
Okay.
And then the other different thing that we're going to be doing is on AuthorStrong tutorials. We've had a bunch of people. I've invited a number of people that they're kind of beta testing and poking around, and everyone really likes it. I'm going to be doing some updates based on feedback that I've gotten on a few of the videos. And so, sorry. I got distracted. I was reading comments.
I was too.
So the idea is on Author Strong tutorials. Once it's going to be available, so you'll have like you can buy. It'll be a la carte, but we're going to be offering multiple courses. And so the Scrivener one, the overall this beginning Scrivener, I call it beginning Scrivener mainly because I haven't decided on a really final name for it yet. But it's not just beginning Scrivener. Some pretty advanced stuff with Scrivener.
Right.
And so you'll be able to essentially use that kind of the way I use Scrivener 99% of the time. And then I have some other courses that I want to do where I'm thinking like an advanced Scrivener thing, which is where I basically take Scrivener instead of using it as a writing tool, I use it as a publishing tool. And so that is how I essentially run a publishing business out of Scrivener, which is what I do now. Right. And so I'll walk through a lot more of that, and I'll go through kind of how I use Scrivener to actually write, and then how I use it to also how do I use it to publish. But it won't be the basics of like how do you create a new document, or how do you compile this, or how do you do all that kind of like nuts and bolts is going to be in this first one.
Sure.
And then I want to do like another a la carte kind of thing where I'll do like a formatting course, and it will be like the formatting options from Scrivener, but then I'll also talk maybe about InDesign and maybe about some of the other formatting packages that you can do, or other formatting stuff that you can do. And that'll be like, if you wanted an all-in-one, I just want to know how to format ebooks or even print books, you could get that, and it won't, it'll be kind of a little bit more selective.
Okay.
And so the idea then is that'll be available. And so those won't be like, there'll be launch windows just like this, where it's like, we're going to be launching and it'll be like this introductory price. And then once that is done, then it'll go up to its normal price, but people can get it whenever. So if you don't want to buy it on the end of November, you can wait till December or January, whatever the case is.
Okay. So what you're saying is there is a diversity of offerings that is in the pipe.
Correct.
As well.
Correct.
Okay.
It's the pipeline. So,
because I think I saw that list like one time, unless that was just your checklist for the day because you were crazy like that. But I thought I saw a list of like all the potential like subjects and things that you were going to cover, and it was extensive.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Again, like none of this stuff's new for me. I've been wanting to do this for over a year now, and so I think you saw some of the very early kind of ideas of what all that stuff was at the beginning of this year. I had all that available. I knew I was going to be going down this route that whole time, and that's why we haven't sought sponsors or anything like that, because I don't to make money back on the show, because like that's not my goal, is to make money just on people listening to us. I really want to help people. So
right.
And so I can do that, by way of offering it to the course, and people who want to pay for the course, then they can kind of monetarily make this worth our while. But other than that, we kind of have fun doing the stuff. So I've never sought going into sponsorships or affiliates with anyone.
Yeah.
Other than Mark, he came to us. He was like, hey, did. And you guys want to do this? I was like, sure. Yeah, I love his course.
Yeah.
So highly recommend it. That's
exciting.
That is exciting. I was going to say, I depending on time, because we got about 20 minutes left, right, in our normal hour-long show.
Yeah.
Depending on time, I can actually pull up the course site and people can see it. So I can do like a screen share and people can.
Ooh, that's getting fancy.
I know, it's like way advanced kind of stuff. Oh, and Laura's talking in the comments. She said she's one of the people who checked out the CreateSpace thing, and
okay,
compiling it for CreateSpace, and I worked with another girl that I knew through or I don't know her, but I've talked with her a couple times on Instagram, and she was formatting a poetry book, and so I invited her to check out that CreateSpace thing to test it as well, and she fell in love with it, and it
cool.
The main problem with it right now, and another one of the reasons to push it off a little bit, is the fact that right now the CreateSpace one specifically really only works for Mac. I think. And so the couple people I've had testing out for Windows, the problem, one of the key features that you need that I base the whole system around for Mac is not available in Windows. And it's a little thing, like a relatively little thing. And it shocked me when someone was like, this isn't available. And I was like, oh man, that ruins everything. And so
that's how it goes with that stuff, though.
I know.
It's always little details.
I've been putting off I need to get a Windows computer, and so that unfortunately, like,
just it's fine. You can make it your work computer / gaming computer, and it all works out.
Yeah, I mean, I can put it on this computer. It's just a hassle. I just haven't like. I used to be
No.
way more into the tech stuff. Like I build my own computer still, but
Well, sure.
I don't. I want
There's
them to
no
just
way
like.
that I would partition. I think that is a pain in
Oh
the
no, no,
butt.
I don't partition. Yeah, I just use a different hard drive. And I've
Okay.
already
Okay.
got it all. I wouldn't even have to spend money. It's just time
Mhm.
sitting down and like, and then if invariably something goes wrong and you gotta like troubleshoot, and I'm just like, I don't want to spend a weekend doing that. And
I know, right? Hmm.
and so for me, it's just been like I just haven't taken the time to do it. But I need to get that done because part of me pushing back the time as well is that I do want to put like right now everything is done in Mac, and I do want to put videos out in Windows because there are a lot of differences. And so and
Yeah.
people can tell me like a lot of people tell me like the one-offs. I'm like, you can get around that by doing this, but it would be way, way, way easier if I just had it available, right? If I just had the video there that showed them in Windows.
Right.
And so that won't be an extra cost. It's more of just me getting it. So when people buy the course, they'll get all of it. Look at Windows, look at Mac, all of it, same spot. And so it's more of me just I need to take the time to actually do it. And
Sure.
that'll be obviously that'll be easier once I actually have a Windows computer. Um and but it won't be I don't think it'll take me very long to actually record it because a lot of the time that it took me to record all these other ones in the first place
Hmm.
was the fact that I was also learning like how to upload it and where to host it and what settings I needed to get it to do to look right and things like that. And now I know I have everything saved. I know how to do all that stuff so I can
It'll go a
create
lot faster.
I can create new videos super fast now. So that's not an issue.
Okay, so cool. So that's coming. That's exciting.
That is coming. Yeah. So that's gonna be launching towards the end of November. So on top keep that when you
Okay.
guys are voting, like I'm also working on all of that stuff on top of put whatever's gonna happen.
Matt, they're pitiless. They don't care about your burdens or your pain.
I know. And when that was the other reason I was like, oh man, if I do a 50K in a day and like people want to see that again, because no one really knew who I was a year ago or 2 years ago, then that's cool. Like that's a day of suicide, essentially. And
please don't
really,
pick that, people. I don't want to have to go to Matt's house and like shovel a mushy banana into his mouth because he's like dead on the floor of his office.
I had friends and family like checking in on me.
Yeah, you needed it, you weirdo. You weren't eating anything.
And
But
what
yes.
part of the cool part of that is like people want to see that. I'm like, okay, that's a day out of my life, right?
Yes, it is a day off of your life. In the grand scheme, it's like you used up a day of life.
Oh, it's probably like a week of life, to be to be honest. It is a long
I was
day.
being generous.
A long day.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But in any case, so that's I think one of the reasons I included it on the poll in the first place was the fact that it seems more feasible than the other one. The other one seems harder to me, and so I'm scared of it, but that's fine. So that's so let's talk about the tutorials. So we're gonna launch on the 1st. We'll have the early adopters, whatever it's going to be called, available before that, and we'll have some cool videos coming out, and I'll be doing a cool little like free video series and on a couple kind of fun things. I haven't exactly mapped out what those are going to be. I think it's going to be I'm going to put one together on quickly importing your novel into Scrivener and breaking it out and automating all of that and making it look nice, like just how to get it in there. Yeah. And then I'll do another one on, I think I'm actually going to walk through, like right now I have that PDF guide on how do you format an ebook. I think I'm doing a quick video series showing almost the exact same thing and just walking people through and like just doing it on video instead of PDF.
Okay. I think that's good. I like watching the videos.
Yeah, the videos are fun. So, and then something else, I'm not sure what, but come out with some other stuff. And those will be for free and people get them in their email later on. If you're signed up to the newsletter, you'll get it in your email later on this month.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I have a list of things I want to talk about. Yeah, I'm going down my list of all the things.
My goodness, there's way too much writing on that legal pad.
I know, right? That was
it's too much.
Me earlier.
So what else is there that you haven't addressed?
Okay, so and the other thing we wanted to do was we wanted to answer some questions. So I've had a couple questions kind of come up.
Oh, yes.
And also, if you're in the chat right now, feel free to ask questions. We can go through and get all those. I haven't seen any, but
there is a question.
Oh, what is it?
It was Julia's question. She asked earlier. She
Oh,
said,
we
"What is
missed
your
it.
honest opinion for the new author launching new mystery and adventure series? Should a female author change her name to male pseudonym? Before J.K. Rowling did it, most people would say yes. Now a lot of people, I'm guessing, would say no. So I don't know. I already weighed in on that in the comments. I'm never using a female name unless it will help me sell, because I think gender bias definitely exists still. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah. The only one that the only huge gender bias I see, and maybe that's because I'm a guy,
Mhm.
is definitely romance. I would not publish romance as a guy.
Yeah.
Um, and other ones, like a lot of people said it exists in sci-fi. I haven't heard anything about mystery thriller.
Hmm.
Sci-fi has been the big one in the past that I've heard is the most kind of anti-woman, right? That would be the one you want to be kind of neutral on,
Yes.
and that's, I mean, that's what J.K. Rowling was writing, was kind of fantasy.
Hmm.
Um, and so she went with a gender neutral pseudonym. And honestly, it I think the most egregious one is romance.
Oh, yeah, I would agree. I'd
And
use a female name there.
yeah, I think the most egregious one is romance. And then if you think it's going to be a hindrance at all, then yeah, just use a gender neutral name
Hmm.
and don't worry about it. Um,
Yeah.
I think what this will come back to also is make sure you don't get stuck. Pseudonyms are important, and
Hmm.
thinking these things is important. But I guess the one thing I want to caveat is make sure you don't get stuck on things that'll hold you up kind of arbitrarily or that aren't of super important consequence. Um,
Hmm.
and like don't use that as a roadblock to slow yourself down and hold off. So um, pick something, go with it, and make it happen. And
Okay.
and you'll do that a lot in your career, right? Where you're gonna have option A and option B, and you're not sure which one's better. And it may
Mhm.
come down to where like option A is like slightly better than option B, and you went with option B. So be it. Done. What's done's done, kind of thing. And you learn from it and you move forward. And so I think the more important thing is to unless it's super obvious or super egregious, and I don't think for the most part pseudonyms are um as far as the gender goes.
Right.
Um, I think it's way more important to just get stuff out there in the first place than it is
Sure.
to too worry about it. But yeah, while you can, sure, go for it. And if you're worried at all, just use a gender neutral one. Use acronyms or
Yeah.
if you're not sure. So hopefully that
Awesome.
answers the question. And if you have a follow up or would like me to talk more candidly or whatever the case is, I'm more than happy to do so.
We always want you to talk candidly.
Oh man, I get some more wine in me, and I usually do talk like way too candidly.
This is true.
We save that for like SBRT. Like whenever I do the SBRT shows after this, that's when it's like I get way candid, and it probably becomes an issue.
You become like the life fist punching people in the face.
I know. I don't think I've been invited since the last time I got way candid on there. So
Oh, really?
I
Oh,
don't think that's I don't think it's a causality. I don't think that
but
there's
at the
like a
same time, no one
yeah
has disabused you of that notion,
yeah. But whatever.
right? Okay, I think it's a
Okay,
good
so
question. I think
uh
people think about that a lot. Okay, what else?
okay, couple other questions. My friend Diana
Uh huh.
asked me what kind of wine I'm drinking, right? So
Oh
as
Lord,
always, it's the only
here we
thing I
go.
think it's the only wine I've drank on here is it's Dreaming Trees Cabernet. I think it's the only wine I've drank during live shows. I can remember one time where I did not. Two times I did
It's
not.
the only wine I've ever seen you drink.
Yeah. There's been two. One time I drank the Dreaming Tree. I think it was a Dreaming Tree Pinot Noir.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
Ooh,
like it as much as the cab. I prefer cabs.
I
And then
like Pinot.
another time I
Mm-hmm.
drank like this storyteller's wine. I can't remember. I think it was a cab also. And I think the I can't remember the vineyard, the vintage on it. So but that was the one other time. And that was
Mm-hmm.
I think both of those were on SBRT. So I think for our live shows I've only drank this one.
That's all I've
Um
ever seen.
yeah. And so what was I going to say after that? Okay, so we're running low on time, probably because we started a little bit late, so we might run a little bit late.
We
But
we did.
yeah, so a couple of questions. So I've had people
Okay.
ask me about the milk contest short story. And so we haven't addressed that now in a couple months.
I have been meaning to ask you, actually, and then I forget every time I see you.
Okay. So an update on that. What happened with it is, and if you have not received an email, well, it's been a couple months since I sent out an email, but I did send out an email to everybody just asking for all the people who entered. And if you didn't see an email from me, let me know. But it was basically just asking, because I haven't gone back and really tallied in who responded and who didn't. Just asking me for general things like what name you want it published under. I know one person, it was actually a friend of ours. She was one of the contestant entry. I can't talk right now. One of the entrants.
Entrants.
My mouth isn't working. It's one of the entrants, and so she kind of backed out. She didn't want it published, which is fine. So if you don't want it published at all, let me know. But that said, what happened was I got derailed because one of the perks of entering, period, right, was going to be a one of the tutorials on how I actually format it. And so that was what that happened was I started to kind of work on that, and that transitioned into me creating the whole Author Strong Tutorials website.
You kind of off on us a little bit.
So that now exists, and the short story compilation does not yet exist. And so if I had to boil down what's happening with it, that is what is happening with it. It got delayed. So I'm not going to do in a nutshell, for all the entrants that are listening, I'm not going to be doing a just like how I formatted this into that, right? What they will get, and this is good to know for them, I'm just going to give all of them essentially all of the formatting tutorials. You'll have it. I'll just give it to you.
Okay.
And so you'll get way more than what I was going to give, and that's because it's already done, and it's like it's not going to require me to do any more work. So it's there. You'll get it. When it is done, you'll get it. And as far as what's going to happen then with the short story compilation, but there are a couple of concerns I have with actually publishing it, and so I need to still kind of address those. And I think I mentioned that in an email I sent out. And if we can work through that, then great. Other than that, what I might do is just offer format it, put it all together, create it into a book, send everyone a copy of the book if they want it, and then make it available to them if they want to order more. Just do it that way, but it might not be actually available for sale. So that's the key thing that is going to be the bouncing back and forth point for me right now, is whether or not we want to get into the business of actually publishing it.
Sure. Okay.
That's it. But so all the prizes and everything got sent out for all the winners and all the gift card money and the Smart and all that other good stuff. And then everyone, as soon as all the formatting course part of it is done, I haven't figured out how I'll share that with them, but they'll get it. So I might be able to set it up on the website where they can just log in, or I might just say, here's download links. You can download all the videos. And I may see which they prefer, because I think honestly both are going to be about the same amount of work for me, so I'm not going to really care. Back and forth. And so that's kind of it. Yeah, Krishan said that was in emails a long time ago. I don't even remember when it was. Beginning of August. It's funny, Nancy and I were just talking about this. We recorded before this. And I was basically just saying, like, the last 3 months have just been a blur, which is not terribly normal for me. Oh, and Tosi says she hopes the AlphaSmart had fun messages inside. It did not. I included batteries, but the batteries had not actually been put in, so that AlphaSmart had not ever even been turned on by me.
Yeah,
by me, right?
True. Okay, so Krishan said she's into learning to formatting and finishing a project. So a product. Sorry, whatever. I can't talk either. We'll see. Well, I don't know.
like the finished product, you mean?
Yeah, like that's like she was responding to us talking about like what we're doing with it, with the milk stories, with that whole process.
Oh yeah. And I don't think Krishan hasn't. You'll see it because you submitted. Trust me, the stuff I go through with CreateSpace and it shows what you need to be putting in there, what you should go in the book, how it should look, where it should be. All of that stuff is a part of that course. And so I essentially take Robert's book and take the text of it and then turn it into something that is ready for sale. And then walk through a lot of what I walk through and spend time talking about is just kind of my thought process that goes into it and why I make choices the way I make them. when doing stuff like that. So hopefully, if that's the kind of stuff you're looking for, that's all going to be in the tutorial stuff, and that's going to go out to all the people who submitted for the contest in the first place.
Yay!
Yay! I know. There was another question that someone had asked, and
okay,
and I probably shouldn't have brought it up because I can't find it. I hid it for myself.
Oh no! Who asked? Who asked it?
It was someone in the email, and I responded to them. I sent it back, and I was like, I really like this question, and we may talk about it on the show. And I sent them the response back of like, here's kind of my thoughts, and I wanted to bring it up now, and then I forgot where it went. And so, actually, give me 1 second, I'll be able to find it. But
well, I didn't see that email, so you're on your own for that.
I know that one might have, because sometimes people just send stuff directly to me, and then it doesn't.
Of course.
And then it doesn't go to you. And sometimes, because normally when people email us, right, at podcast@authorstrong.com or the contact on the website,
right,
goes to both of us. And okay, so I found it. Let me kind of
yay!
Search yeah. I couldn't find it. I spent 5 minutes trying to find it before we even went online, and I couldn't find it. Now I just found it in 2 seconds. So
we're just all kinds of late today.
Yeah. And so I'll basically kind of I'll read through it. I'll skim through it. It's like I'm writing in lesbian fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Has several serious ideas. Notice that most gay authors write all their stuff under one pen name. But this person wants to cross over into the mainstream. They don't want to be pigeonholed as a lesbian fiction author.
Mm-hmm.
And basically wondering kind of what I thought about that. And then they also have a couple other titles that are in some other genres. And they call out that they're in straight fiction, like action adventure, but they're straight fiction, not gay, as opposed to gay fiction.
Sure. Actually, that's a really good question, because that's same kind of thoughts. I do have many, at least for other projects. Like, there aren't really any straight relationships, and I don't really know what to do about that. I'm sure there's a bias that exists, but I don't know like how. I mean, would you tell her just to make a new pen name? That seems like the right course of action. I mean, you say to do that when you switch genres, right? So you would probably do that for that.
Yeah. So here's my kind of basically what I was saying was my thought process on stuff like this is that by and large, readers are not going to switch genres. And so when they're reading a particular author, they like that author because they're writing in whatever genre. And if you want more proof, like, go look at the majority of authors. I'm not talking about outliers. Okay. Go look at the majority of authors, and they all write in one genre.
Right. Okay.
And so someone will be like, oh, I read everything Lee Child puts out. He puts out one type of book. And so there are exceptions, but by and large, everyone puts out kind of one genre. And so what I will say is, especially if there's going to be any kind of if it's, I'm tempted to say like just like romance, period, like regardless of the heat level, if it's a romance centric whatever, let it be in its own pen name.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I would even say, like, as far as like if you get like really high in the overall genre list, right? So like romance is a big one, right? And then mystery thriller. If you want to put all of your mystery thrillers under one pen name, great. You want to put all of your sci-fi under one pen name, great. You could mix them. You can have some sci-fi and some mystery thriller under one, or some sci-fi and some romance. That's where you're going to have a huge disconnect, I think, in the crossover.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, as far as I don't know if there's any particular nuance with the, like, if we're looking at romance and we're looking at gay romance versus straight romance. I don't know what the crossover is, or if there's a stigma. I do know that the majority of readers for all romance, gay or straight, are all female.
Right.
Okay? Marketing to the same base.
Also true for fanfic, so that makes sense.
Yeah. And so I don't know how much crossover there is. And I will say, because this person did ask, one of the ways they phrased the question was, I want to be more of a mainstream author. I'm not sure what
Okay.
that means. Um,
Mm.
but when I think mainstream, I think obviously less specific, and so I think less kinks, right? And I do think that
Mhm.
that gay romance fiction is more of a kink than mainstream. And so what I will say is, if you want to go mainstream, then I would not write. I would then kind of segregate those two
Yeah.
apart from each other.
Right.
Um, and that's what I would say. And if it doesn't work, especially if you're already using pseudonyms, here's the fun part of that. If it doesn't work out, then just create a new pseudonym. And it requires a little bit of starting over, but that's possible. And you'll improve because you're writing better and you know what to do on the business and things a little bit better. Um,
Mhm.
so I guess one of the big things I would say is try and stick with this one pseudonym in a general genre. And if you want to hop around between the sub genres, like you don't need to create a new pen name for every single sub genre, right?
Okay.
Like,
Right.
and so great.
That
But
sounds
if you're
exhausting.
it is, yeah, creating a pen name can be, there's a lot that can go into it. So it can be exhausting. I don't
Mhm.
advise it.
Yeah.
Um, and so if you want to be more mainstream, pick whatever you want to write and just write it. Go with it. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, then switch and do something else. And so that was the other question
Boom.
one of the big questions I wanted to cover.
Mhm.
And then I think there were a couple others I mainly responded to like in emails, but I can't, given our time, I can't think of any offhand that I wanted to talk about on air.
Okay.
We actually just recorded an episode where I essentially responded to another question from someone that they asked me in person, and we spent a whole episode talking about that.
Yeah.
And that was a fun one. That was talking about marketing and what you can do to market a single book. We haven't really gotten into marketing yet, so
No, we'll get there. We're
well, yeah,
approaching it.
we just did. So it's coming
Yeah.
out at some point. We just
Yeah.
recorded it, so it's on the
November.
computer.
It's coming out.
Sometime in November,
Yeah.
if maybe December. Who knows? Um,
Okay.
uh, and then okay, so we're coming out on time, and let's go look. Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go
go.
troll.
I'm gonna check the live form. If anyone hasn't gotten a vote in, then do so now, and then I will check it out. Oh, that's
Oh
not
my
what
god.
I don't even know how to
I'm
check the results.
I'm curious
View
what everyone did.
responses. There it is. View responses.
I bet people want you to do the novel in a month. That's my guess. That's my
N-
prediction.
Not a single vote for the 50K in one day. Not even one.
No, you've done that. They want to see you kill yourself in a different way.
Yeah. So okay. So it looks like 15 people voted.
Yay!
3 of those people said be sane, which is
I
regular
was one of
nano.
those
I think
3.
one of you were one of 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So one person said be healthy. Thank you.
Aw. You care about his well-being.
Okay. So 4 out of the 15 said those, and then the remaining 11 said novel in a month.
Yeah.
Um, which is exactly what I figured would happen. And so what I think I'm going to do,
Mhm.
twitch.tv/MattMorrisAuthor, right? That's where you'll be able to watch, and I'll send out notifications whenever I go live.
Okay.
Is I will be working on a series that it's actually going to be this, I think the same series, the one I've been planning on working on. It's the same series I was writing last year's 50Ks in, the 350K in a day.
Mhm.
Same series, same characters, using some of the ideas that I thought up while doing those 50K days. And I'm going to be
Okay.
working on, I'll be working on that. So I'll
Okay.
do that.
Cool.
And I don't know how
Yay,
far I'll
Matt.
get. It'll be a hybrid of like doing the nano and doing the novel in a month. Like I'll try and essentially get through one book. I don't have anything planned. I've had some thoughts because I've been thinking about it all month, that series,
Mhm.
and kind of ideas. I haven't been thinking about it too in depth because I've been writing other stuff. So I've been thinking about
Yeah.
that. But it's been going over in my head. So
Okay. So you've got a plan.
kind of. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
starting
you'll
to.
figure it out.
Yeah, I'm starting to like. I figured that's what would happen, and I figured that was kind of what I had been targeting anyway. So, it's been percolating, and so yeah. So that's what I'll
Okay.
do. I
All
will
right.
put that out, and then I will start at some point. It's going to be weird not doing like the 50K on day one, but I'll start that, and then hopefully people will be able to watch. From the a lot of the planning stuff I'm doing, and they can participate or ask questions or whatever, and they'll see.
I'll tune in to heckle you.
You can tune in to heckle me. Hopefully, when I'm actually writing, I won't be paying too much attention to the stream.
Well, you weren't last time, which I was really like. I thought that was pretty admirable because I would have been distracted.
Well, okay, so here's the thing: I didn't have a choice when I did the 50K days.
It's true.
I would not have been successful. But I have tried to stream in past, like when I'm not under that kind of deadline, and it is because I'm less rigid with myself. So yeah, I talk more to the people who are in the stream and connect with them, which means I'm not getting any writing done when I'm doing that. And so I will have to try and be rigid about it so that I can actually get things done. And then it'll be fun though. It'll be good times. That's what I'm working on. So thank you everyone who
yes. Thanks for voting so you can decide
Deanna,
Matt's fate.
If you're the one for saying to be healthy, thank you, Deanna.
Oh, she cares about you. The rest of us don't.
She does care about me. She's a friend here in Houston as well.
We love you only as much as you can entertain us. So dance, monkey, dance.
Yeah, but don't die. So that you can keep dancing. I think that's going to do it for us. I didn't see any other questions in there. Again, thanks everybody for joining us on the live show. We'll be doing something in a couple weeks, and we'll have more announcements coming out about that for the 200th episode. And then as soon as I have as soon as I get like the actual time worked out with the venue that I want to host it at, as soon as that's finalized, then we'll give everyone all the details, and it'll be way in advance, and everyone can be like super excited.
I'm so excited! This place is so cool.
We are going to do an after party. Oh, and for anyone who I think everyone probably here knows that they're watching live, but Nancy and I got tattooed together.
Yeah, we did.
A week and a half ago. Probably can't show yours. I don't know, but
if anyone wanted to
see, but I can't.
There you go. You got it. I think most of them are in the group too. They've seen it.
They've probably seen it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna like lean back in my chair and like show off my leg, but you guys have seen it. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
There you go. So I can talk and people can click on my thing. And so
the font you took like an hour to pick out.
You were getting tattooed first, so I had.
I'm not making fun of. I know. I
wasn't like.
I'm trolling you.
Well, I just got trolled and it worked.
You were a little picky, but I understand it's a tattoo.
Well,
you should.
Yeah. You were a little picky on the permanent ink that's going to be on your hands.
I wish I could play like the Rickroll clip right now.
Yeah. I normally am not like too trollable, but sometimes you just always like slip it in every once in a while. Like you know how to get like right there. And I'm like,
gotta try. You don't give me very many openings. I have to dart in when I see them.
Mess. Perfect. Well, yeah. So we'll have more information coming out about everything else soon. We're going to be doing an after party as soon as we go off air. I will share the link in the comments. But everyone else, thanks for hanging out with us again. The Facebook ads for Authors Course, I highly recommend it. It's available right now. It's only available through November 3rd. And so you can find that at Self-Publishing Formula. I always get this wrong. Self-Publishing Formula /AuthorStrong. And also, if you come into the after party, we didn't get enough time to do it right now, but I might be able to be talked into it with a couple more glasses of wine. Is I'll actually show people the course website. So if you're here live, I can actually pull it up and show the screen, and they can see the way it looks. I think it's gorgeous. And I'm not just saying that because I spent hours working on it, but I think the course website is gorgeous. Well, that's going to do it for us. Nancy, it's been fun. We're 6 months in. Been good times. I think you're cutting out. Yeah, your internet is slowly dying. Great. Well, that's a perfect time for us to cut out. So thanks everyone for joining. Make sure you leave us a review on iTunes. Shoot us an email, podcast@authorstrong.com. Let us know if there's any topics you'd like to hear us cover or any guests you'd like us to have on the show. We'll get that done for you. But for now, for Nancy Elliott, I'm Matt Morris. This has been the Author Strong Podcast. Take care.